Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 Part 48. Part 47 in a fast Ferrari Circuit challenge to get three kinds of cars like the 308 GTB 75, 458 Italia 2009, and of course the F12 Berline Enta 2012 is going to be so cool and much more proud to have an Italian racing effort to step up and going to have to go for having first place. But also to have race number 3 to be at Autodrome Lago Maggiore Grand-Prix track is going to be having some slight issues, but I know I just found out because of the skipping part might be quite contained with some further interruption. I'll have to make sure to find out and come up to have a substitute to be on this main clip. Just gonna have to do some video editing and gonna have to do some exporting because the last video might have to contain with over 1 hour segment ever since from race number 1 in Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia Grand Prix. Before moving on in part 48, there's going to be a much more well competitive to have the final event in menu book number 39 after the number 38 collection. But that's right, because gonna have to go with practice and training to take part in the World GT Series after this. But it's gonna have to do some preparation to take part for only 4 races in the GT Cup Gr.3 edition is gonna become much more intense. So here it is right now because I have already did 2 of them because one of them in a European racetrack at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps to be on a different prize reward. Maximum in 105,000 credits, just like race number 3 from Ferrari Circuit Challenge. It turns out to become much more cool and clean racing to stay on a well-focusing effect to see how Ferrari cars is going to have to be perfectly to be on the same track until the Group 3 cars will be stepped in to start out for having a much more fine, perfect moment from the very beginning for every Gran Turismo players. But I know this is going to be take a while because having 3 cars from day 1 is going to be well extra to be packed up as well. Let's have a good look to be on the description about the event. An intense race for real professionals. Enjoyed a super tense and competitive encounter. First up, 5 laps to be on Autodrome Lago Maggiore Grand Prix track to be on a full course. 3 types of tire compound go with the hard, medium, and soft to have a performance point restricted in 730 or less. It turns out to become much more challenging because for my pick, I'm about to go with a Mazda RX Vision GT3 Concept Stealth Edition. It's going to be so cool to be received to be part of day 1 and also to have a pre-order edition along with a 25th anniversary edition. So let's do this, and I'm about to go and get set to be on the practice zone to do some training before the World GT Series will be coming in very soon. Wow! Looks like it's been so long for myself ever since from day 1 from March 4th. Talk about doing a long journey just for myself because it takes some creative ideas and come up with some game plans, racing strategy, and also of course to have the duration, might have to keep a good suitable watchable eye by under an hour. So by starting out to be participate in the GT Cup Group 3, 10th place will be entered to be on the starting grid, you guys, because any kinds of Group 3 race car will be eligible to be participate. But let's make sure to have the hard racing compound tires is going to be challenging and Go Endurance will have to hold out last longer for only 5 laps. If anything happens, because one pit stop is going to be a very tough risk to be well avoided. Let's go and get myself prepared to be on a rolling start at the ready. Here I go, and gonna have to start out on lap number 1. Let's hop in and have a good look at the racing spec interior. Same goes to the original Mazda RX Vision GT3 concept, but this one is much special to be well important to this car because it might be quite very compared to other stealth models from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But this one is the only one as you may ever receive from the pre-order edition and day 1. Now gonna have to move on and take on position number 9 to catch up to the Honda NSX Group 3. Take the turn and gonna have to go right in. So you see, every kinds of different liveries in the Group 3 category. That also includes with some 2 types of variation. But it's going to be so cool and awesome to have the same cars with different liveries, just like what you've been participating in different race events and championships as well. Gonna have to go in there and take the chase on the original RX Vision GT3 concept while taking the chase on the McLaren 650S GT3. Coming in and take the hillside right corner. Okay, close call. 5 more to go remaining. I got this in the bag and gonna have to go for the rush to stay clean. Looks like the Porsche 911 RSR, Genesis X Gr.3, BMW M6, and the other 2 was the Subaru WRX Group 3 and Peugeot RCZ Group 3. Alright, so looks like I'm gonna have to go and take the final turn down the hill. Gonna have to stay steady and try to keep my A game going. 2 minutes, 4.297 seconds. Gonna have to beat that lap time and move on in lap number 2. Time to get in and go for only 3.6 seconds remaining to be on the gap. For this part of the video, 2 events when participate in the GT Cup Group 3 is going to become much more challenging and go professional. So I have to make sure to have a good watchful eye on the duration, because any further interruption because of the early part might have to be much more needed before the start of the intro video. Well, of course, because I just found out, because during my part of the free time before recording this video from yesterday. But this one might have to do a brand new fresh along with an intro video of PlayStation Studios. Gonna have to keep that in mind and just gonna have to stay on, well, working up to be on the progress. And here is the Toyota FT1 Vision GT Group 3. Almost, but close enough. Now 4 cars to go remaining. I bet the Subaru is in the lead. Gonna have to catch up and go well represent for Team Masa. Final sector, up I go, and gonna have to stay well steady up on the pace. So whatever happens when using the hard racing compound tires will be the #1 best racing strategy when you participate in the GT Cup Group 3 edition. Same goes to the Group 4 Cup, Clubman Cup Plus edition, and Dirt Champions. But also to have different kinds of chili pepper difficulties whenever you're gonna have to go right at it. Alright, just gonna have to go enter to be on the halfway mark. 2 minutes, 0.849 seconds is now well checked up to be on the fastest lap time. Gonna have to stay steady and go clean racing to have the most finest earnings by 50% after the 5th lap is clear. So let's go dive in. 2, up I go, and gonna have to go stay focused on the Porsche 911 RSR Top 991-17. Come on, she's gonna have to do some inside of the apexes. We'll have to do the straightaway. Sector 3, proceed and go down on the 400-meter run. So very close. Come on, just gonna have to step up and go on the offense. Feel the embrace and just gonna have to go confident skill set. There we go. Just gonna have to stay focused and press on. Gonna have to hurry up and quick because lap number 3 is about to come to an end shortly. Okay, not today. Final turn is always being necessary. Lap number 4, off I go, and gonna have to hurry up by the pace. Now I just really think that doing a hard practice of racing is gonna have to face up and go overcome a different racing strategy when facing a different Group 3 car in the manufacturer brand. Just like sport mode, but this part of the event is very much challenging to go on the hard offense. Gonna have to break through onto the main gap distance in about 2.7 seconds remaining. Alright, just gonna have to switch up onto the hood cam. We might give a good view. Alright, so looks like still getting closer, but almost. Just gonna have to build up the slipstream is very much more important to be needed. There we go, right at the good respawn, and pull the brake. That's the ticket. Now 2 cars to go. Genesis X Gr.3 and Subaru WRX Group 3 is now gonna have to take the next list. Gonna have to push through and do the final sector. We're almost there, folks. This race is gonna become much more challenging to be on the handling. Down the hill and take the final turn. Save it for the best part. Are about to go for having a one-on-one showdown until the Mazda Stealth Edition RX Vision GT3 concept will step in. They're going off the track. There goes the contact on turn 2 at the hairpin. There we go. Looks like I'm nearly there. Gonna have to make some room, watch the handling, and gonna have to go through onto the straightaway. That's more like it. Keep up the good respawn and save it for the next turn to be on the inside. Wonderful race and going super intense, you guys. This event is going grueling for every 5 laps on 3 races, except 1 to be on 10 laps. Gonna have to embrace it and trust myself, and the Mazda RX Vision GT3 Concept Stealth Edition is a very good racing potential. There you go. Just gonna have to take the hillside right turn and go on the uphill session to be on the next turn. Of the apexes and proceed to the final sector. Almost there. I'm about to win the race in first place, you guys. This is going to be a perfect crowd replay moment because I also saved the other 2 like last time, just like taking part on Dirt Champions. Down the final turn, and here comes the finish line in first place. Awesome, well done, and the Stealth Edition takes the podium finish. What a hard, intense race for the first part on race 1 of GT Cup Gr.3 Edition. Stunning and much more fierce battle to take on with Genesis and Subaru to be in the top 3 position. 10 minutes to have 12.588 seconds in the fastest lap time I took in lap number 4, 1 minute 59.328 seconds. brilliant and much more excellent to have original RX Vision GT3 concept will be joined in to be part of the party. Excellent clean race, well done. Almost to be at 2 million credits because 1.9 credit is currently to be adding up as well. Now for the replay after this because just going to have a next part of the thumbnail image whenever I might have to take a good look. Just give me 1 second because if I have to do a recording progress, we'll have to keep it much more watchful eye surveillance. Alright, there you go. Thumbnail to be saved, so let's just gonna have to wait until the RX Vision GT3 concept will have to go 2 times the double. Okay, so looks like that might have a very good perfect chance. Just gonna have to wait for only another 10 seconds. Okay, so the thumbnail image turns out to become perfect match and different variation. That should be quite very good to be useful as to be needed. Sorry for the short delay, doing a little bit much more patient time to have a perfect thumbnail image replay to be saved. So let's go exit out and proceed on to race number 2 in GT Cup Gr.3 edition. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps will have to go for choosing a different Gr.3 car. So this one is checked up to be complete. Now let's go to Belgium for race number 2. Same thing as last time, as I also said earlier, to have 2 races in the same event. But looks like 125,000 credit is going to be so very good to be going up higher because Daytona International Speedway that has exactly to be in 200,000 credits. Next car that I'll be choosing is the Porsche 911 RSR Type 991 2017 UTRS in Sportec with the same exact replica variation. So let's go in there and take on for having the second race. We'll have to go for any forecast weather condition, depends on partly cloudy, sunny day, or the rain. But decisions, always meant to be doing some different challenges is going to be much more intense to see how it goes. So let's be patient until the loading times in exactly 47 seconds until we're about to get set and go for race number 2 on the Belgium circuit. Alright, looks like partly cloudy it is because race number 2 is going to be much more challenging with no rain included. Same grid and different cars will have to go for having a most challenging effort because there might be some best Group 3 race cars like the Audi R8 LMS Evolution in 5th place. Toyota Castro Tom Supra is here in position 2. Aston Martin DBR9 GT1 2010. And also to have one last other thing because the Ford GT LM Race Car 2018 will have to do one further chances to have a good eye check. Let's participate and gonna have to go for having a rolling start in about 3 seconds and prove your worth to have that nice 5-lap race around in Spa-Francorchamps. So let's keep it careful and go for turn number 1. Alright, there you go. Just gonna have to stay as perfectly plan. Gonna have to switch it up onto the race interior, so it'll have to do some more stats. Okay, there goes the contact. Just gonna have to be much more careful to be on the Era Rouge. Come on, just gonna have to make some room and go for the offense. Let's have a good check on the weather radar when I'm racing. Okay, no sign of rain for today, just to be as partly cloudy. Moving on in 8th place, 7 cars to go remaining. Dive down onto the next turn. Going in on turn 10, next up in turn 11. Alright, very cool livery on the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 2016. Looks so good to have a nice variation to be outfitted with some blue trim. Here comes the campus and gonna have to go right in. So the strategies when you're racing in the GT Cup Group 3 edition. Always using the hard racing tires is going to be endurance will have to stay much longer without having a pit stop. So it either depends when using the soft or medium tires, because it's going to be a very tough risk by having a pit stop will be called in as well. But just going to see how the forensics answers will have to go by having a main example to have some skills and proven up to have some different durability and some kinds of turns in every kinds of corner layouts by the strategy. So here comes 7th place to be moving on. All I can see is the Toyota Castro Tom Supra is in a far distant view by enter turn number 1. Same goes to the 2018 Toyota GR Supra Racing concept that has a different livery variation based from the GR010 hybrid. Going up to be on the Era Rouge. Let's take a good, for instance, skill set to have 6th place will be on the way. No check on lap number 2, so gonna have to keep an eye out. Come on, just gonna have to go forward and take the next turn on the right. Keep it steady, deaccelerate, and go re-accelerate. Okay, just the way how it goes, and just gonna have to stay on focus for the main opponent. Pack it up and go exactly 140 miles per hour. Gonna have to get back to the campus and do the S-turns by another round. Let's be patient and face up with the opponent. That's how every Group 3 race car, when you participate in the Manufacturers Cup, is going to be very harder and challenging whenever it takes to have some overcome slipstream by any kinds of 3 type of BOP tuning work: low speed, mid speed, and high speed. But good thing I just also installed a turbocharged kit on the Porsche 911 RSR. That would be much very good to be needed to have a turbocharged race car to pack up and go acceleration, just like the supercharged race car to be in the same Group 3 class. And here comes the update fastest lap time before I'm about to go right in. 2 minutes 25.41 seconds in lap number 3 to be cleared to be proceed after lap number 2 ends. Next up, 2 Toyotas on the way. Gonna have to be very gentle when mastering the Gr.3 Rouge. Alright, keep it up and go through in about 1.4 seconds remaining onto the number 36 Castrol-Tom Supra. Take that next 2 turns and go enter to be on the way. Looks like the seg difference is now going to have to go up onto the plus of the gap. Alright, that should do it. Just gonna have to keep it in and hold the grip. 0.459 seconds on the plus. Hold it in and just gonna have to get back on track because it's gonna get much more harder when using the Porsche 911 RSR. Now it comes back up onto 4.5 seconds. I might have to go and step up to be on the main offense, you guys. This race is going to have to go harder to master every types of turns when you're going to have to go in and going to have to pack up onto the acceleration towards the final turn at the chicane in 19 and 20. Let's have that turn to go through. Coming in and enter the brake zone. There you go. Looks like it's gonna have to get through in 3 seconds by the gap. Lap number 4. Here I come and gonna have to hurry up and keep up the pace. But the Aston Martin DB-R9 GT1 is in the lead. So I had to catch up and gonna have to go for only exact main pace. We'll have to face up and overcome in Gr.3 Rouge. Let's see how it turns out and gonna have to go uphill and do the main upper hand skill advantage. One race car at a time, just gonna have to take a number and go for the overtake. Stay on track. Only 3 more to go. Close call. Now gonna have to do the same turn again. Alright, so there goes the contact. Gonna have to be much more careful. See how it goes? Slipstream is your best helping hand when you're racing in this most important Group 3 event. Just to see how it goes, and just gonna have to try to stay focused when going up by having an increased acceleration. I should probably might have to do that earlier before moving on in race number 3 after this. Just only one part of the conclusion in this part of the video is going to have to do some hard work and take the steady risk on racing strategy to be in the same Group 3 class. Now there you go. Just going to have to keep coming in and go straight forward to have 2 cars in the Porsche RCZ Group 3 and Aston Martin DB-R9 GT1 2010. It's only down for only 1 second, folks. Take turn 19 and 20 at the chicane. Here comes lap number 5, folks. This is it. It all comes down to this, and gonna have to take that stakes. We'll have to go higher to take the first position to be at the finish line. Gonna have to keep trying and go slipstream to be on the main push for having one last offense to go up and take the Gr.3 Rouge in one more time. Steady. Make one push. There you go. Looks like Porsche RCZ Group 3 is in 3rd place. And DBR9 GT1 will have to go from first into second place. That's more like it. First place, here I come and bring home the podium. Fastest lap time I updated is 2 minutes 23.195 seconds. That should do it much more perfectly fine to have a clean racing strategy by further chances. But only different kinds of Group 3 race car is going to be well determination to see how it feels. Only in the mid-engine layout is going to become much more stronger and faster compared to the FR layout. But that's not all, because the differences between the MR and FR in the same Group 3 class is going to be well challenging up by the difference in exact performance. Now I'm going to have to get back onto the campus and do that next part of the turn towards the end of Sector 2. Keep going. Just going to have to go defense, and Aston Martin goes on the offense in about 0.3 seconds behind. Alright, so the update on the exact difference is 1.845 seconds on the plus. You're gonna have to stay going and gonna have to move on to be in the final turn. Here it comes. Just gonna have to do the inside of the apexes. We'll have to keep it well guarded. That's better. And here comes the finish line for Team UDRS Insportec to be at the podium finish. What an awesome race, you guys. Talk about having a lineup of race cars to be proceed onto the finish line whenever it takes to have that most fine competition ever yet to be on the chili pepper difficulty. Good job. Total time in 12 minutes 10.78 seconds, and here is my fastest lap time in lap number 4. 2 minutes 23.195 seconds. Very awesome and thumbs up and complete. Well, it turns out what's left of it, because having hard chances to get more currency credits to be exactly at 125,000 credits. But it was alright, because that should be doing much well to have 2 million credits to be added up onto 2.1 million credit as well. There you go, 3-star roulette ticket to be received, and let's have a good replay on the thumbnail image. But talk about doing some hard racing is going to be more grueling. Now let's see if there's going to be another Porsche in it. Just only one. Just only one is going to be quite put up to have a different livery variation. They'll all line up together because the Dodge Viper might have to step up. Okay, thumbnail image is good. Okay, it looks like the RX Vision GT3 concept is going to be having a patient time to be crowded up. Almost close enough to have that nice dynamic epic. Alright, so this should be doing much more fine well. Sorry for the short delay, folks. I just might need to have a perfect thumbnail image to be on the replay. So, this is going to be having a stopping point for doing the first part in the GT Cup Group 3 edition. But coming up to have the next two part is going to be at Suzuka Circuit and Daytona International Speedway. One race for 5 laps and the other is 10 laps. Just going to have to go and get back onto the world circuits and have this part of the double check reminder. 110,000 credits to be on a 2 chili pepper difficulty. And also for Daytona. Boy, looks like this is going to be a very tough time to go for 10 laps, but correction as a perfect example by the difference. For chili pepper difficulty in 10 laps, it's going to get much more harder and competitive to see how longer it takes for only one pit stop to have a nighttime condition to be on the late evening. Have to keep that in mind until part 49 in the next video. We'll have to wrap this up until at the end. Thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7 folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.